Do you spend a lot of time calming students down during a transition, constantly reminding them that it's time to wrap up an activity, or spending a lot of time getting students from one activity to another? My name is Allison Mears, and I am one of the Arkansas Behavior Support Specialists. And today we're going to cover 3 tips to help promote smoother transitions in your classroom. Now, tip number 1 may be a strategy you are already familiar with. Use a 5-minute countdown. You can actually use the 5-minute countdown before each transition, not just the difficult ones. A countdown can actually be beneficial for all transitions. It's not important to have the countdown be exact or minute by minute. The key is to let the students know they are close to the end of an activity. Now, you may have to teach students what they can accomplish in those 5 minutes. We assume students know how to find a stopping point, but oftentimes they have to be taught how to do just that. Now, you can give the countdown verbally by letting students know how much time remains, or you could hold up fingers to represent how much time remains. You would just put down fingers as the time elapses. And then finally, you could use a visual countdown that can be seen by all students. Numbers can be removed or crossed off as the time passes. For example, you can do this with Velcro and remove the number from the board, or you could just have it written on the board and cross it off with a dry erase marker. Now, let's move to tip number 2. Use visual timers. Time can be such an abstract concept, so using timers that students can see can make time more concrete. But caution, watch out for those ticking noises of timers, such as egg timers, as they can create lots of stress for many of our students. Overhead or projected timers can be used for large group or whole class. Alternatively, individual timers or watches could be used for individual students. Examples of visual timers can be found at www.timetimer.com. Last, tip number 3, use a transition object as an individual student strategy for smoother transitions. A transition object is a highly preferred object, one that the student really likes, that they can carry with them during a transition. These items are going to be different for each student. Using a transition object can make transitioning more reinforcing and even distract the student from the next less reinforcing task. This strategy is most useful for students that struggle transitioning from one activity to another, especially going from a more preferred to a lesser preferred activity. When using a transition object, the student must be taught a specific routine and then where the object is placed at the end of the transition. For example, let's say you have a student that loves playing with Hot Wheel cars. Well, they can be taught to drive the car from center to center during the rotation in the classroom. And each center can have an index card or a parking lot where the car sits while the student participates in the center activity. Another example may be the student brings their favorite teddy bear from home to help them transition into the school building every morning. The students carry the bear into the classroom and they are taught where to put the bear until the end of the day. Transitions are always a challenge in the classroom. We hope at least one of these tips can make transition in your classroom just a little bit smoother. Make sure to follow us on social media as well as to sign up for our monthly newsletter. Thanks for watching this behavior break.